Aristotle's philosophy, particularly his virtue ethics, offers a profound and comprehensive framework for understanding how to live a flourishing life. At the heart of his ethical theory lies the concept of eudaimonia, often translated as happiness or flourishing. Eudaimonia is not a fleeting emotion but a state of being achieved by living a life in accordance with reason and virtue. Aristotle's approach to ethics is teleological, meaning it is concerned with the ends or purposes of human life. He believed that everything in nature has a purpose, and for human beings, that purpose is to live a life of rational activity in accordance with virtue. Aristotle's exploration of virtue begins with the idea that virtues are traits or qualities that enable individuals to achieve eudaimonia. He differentiates between intellectual virtues, which are developed through instruction and education, and moral virtues, which are developed through habituation and practice. Intellectual virtues include wisdom and understanding, while moral virtues include courage, temperance, and justice. For Aristotle, virtues are means between extremes of deficiency and excess, a concept he refers to as the doctrine of the mean. For instance, courage is the mean between the extremes of recklessness and cowardice. Central to Aristotle's virtue ethics is the notion that moral virtues are acquired by habit. One becomes virtuous by performing virtuous actions repeatedly until they become ingrained in one's character. This process of habituation requires practical wisdom, or phronesis, which is the ability to discern the appropriate course of action in any given situation. Practical wisdom is crucial because it guides the individual in making decisions that reflect the mean relative to us. This mean is not a strict middle point, but varies depending on the context and the individual. Aristotle also emphasizes the importance of community and social relationships in the development of virtue and the achievement of eudaimonia. He argues that humans are naturally social creatures and that the polis, or city-state, plays a crucial role in fostering virtue. The laws and institutions of the polis should promote the moral development of its citizens, enabling them to live virtuous lives. Aristotle's vision of a flourishing life is thus deeply connected to the well-being of the community as a whole. In discussing the virtues, Aristotle pays special attention to friendship, which he considers an essential component of a good life. He identifies three types of friendship: those based on utility, those based on pleasure, and those based on virtue. Friendships of utility and pleasure are often short-lived and contingent on external circumstances. In contrast, friendships of virtue are enduring and based on mutual respect and admiration for each other's character. These virtuous friendships are rare and require time and effort to cultivate, but they are crucial for achieving eudaimonia. Another key aspect of Aristotle's virtue ethics is the idea that living a virtuous life requires a proper understanding of pleasure and pain. He acknowledges that pleasure is a natural and important part of human life, but he warns against pursuing it for its own sake. Instead, pleasure should be seen as a byproduct of virtuous activity. Similarly, while pain is often an inevitable part of life, it should not deter individuals from acting virtuously. The virtuous person experiences pleasure in doing what is right and feels pain when they fail to act according to their values. Aristotle also discusses the role of external goods in achieving eudaimonia. While he maintains that virtue is the most important component of a flourishing life, he recognizes that certain external goods, such as health, wealth, and social status, can contribute to one's well-being. However, these goods are not ends in themselves, but are valuable insofar as they support virtuous activity. Aristotle cautions against becoming overly attached to external goods, as they are subject to fortune and can be lost. True happiness, he argues, comes from within and is the result of living a life of virtue. In addition to his analysis of individual virtues, Aristotle provides a framework for understanding how to develop and maintain them. He suggests that moral education should begin in childhood and continue throughout one's life. Parents, teachers, and the community all play crucial roles in shaping the character of individuals. Aristotle also emphasizes the importance of role models and mentors in the development of virtue. By observing and emulating virtuous individuals, one can learn how to act virtuously and develop the habits necessary for a flourishing life. Aristotle's virtue ethics also addresses the challenges and obstacles that individuals may face in their pursuit of eudaimonia. He acknowledges that moral development is a lifelong process and that individuals will inevitably encounter difficulties and setbacks. However, he encourages perseverance and the continuous practice of virtuous actions. He also highlights the importance of self-reflection and critical thinking in the development of virtue. By regularly examining one's actions and motivations, individuals can gain a deeper understanding of their own character and make adjustments as needed to align with their values. Aristotle's concept of the golden mean is central to his ethical theory. It emphasizes the importance of moderation and balance in all aspects of life. He argues that extremes, whether in behavior, emotions, or desires, are detrimental to achieving eudaimonia. The virtuous person strives for balance, exercising self-control and reason to navigate between excess and deficiency. This principle applies to all virtues, from courage and temperance to generosity and honesty. By adhering to the golden mean, individuals can cultivate a harmonious and well-ordered life. The role of rationality in Aristotle's virtue ethics cannot be overstated. He believes that reason is the distinguishing feature of human beings and that it should guide all our actions and decisions. Rationality enables us to discern the right course of action, understand the nature of virtue, and make choices that lead to a flourishing life. For Aristotle, the exercise of reason is not merely an intellectual activity but a practical one that involves the whole person. It is through the application of reason in daily life that we develop and express our virtues. Aristotle also addresses the role of emotions in moral development. He does not advocate for the suppression of emotions, but rather their proper regulation and alignment with reason. Emotions, when properly guided by reason, can support virtuous actions and contribute to eudaimonia. For example, righteous anger in response to injustice can motivate one to take action to rectify the wrong. Similarly, compassion can lead to acts of kindness and generosity. The key is to ensure that emotions are in harmony with reason and do not lead to excessive or deficient responses. In his exploration of justice, Aristotle distinguishes between distributive and corrective justice. Distributive justice concerns the fair distribution of goods and resources in the community, ensuring that individuals receive what they deserve based on their contributions and needs. Corrective justice, on the other hand, deals with the rectification of wrongs and the restoration of balance when harm has been done. Both forms of justice are essential for maintaining social harmony and enabling individuals to live virtuous lives. Justice, in its various forms, is a fundamental virtue that underpins the ethical and political dimensions of Aristotle's philosophy. Aristotle's virtue ethics also highlights the importance of practical experience and the application of ethical principles in real-life situations. He argues that theoretical knowledge alone is insufficient for achieving eudaimonia. Instead, individuals must actively engage in virtuous practices and learn from their experiences. This experiential learning process allows individuals to develop practical wisdom and refine their understanding of virtue. By continuously applying ethical principles in everyday life, individuals can cultivate the habits and dispositions necessary for a flourishing life. One of the distinctive features of Aristotle's virtue ethics is its emphasis on the holistic nature of human development. He recognizes that physical, emotional, intellectual, and social aspects of life are interconnected and must be harmonized for one to achieve eudaimonia. Physical health and well-being, for example, are important because they provide the foundation for the exercise of virtues. Similarly, emotional resilience and social relationships support moral development and contribute to overall happiness. Aristotle's holistic approach underscores the importance of integrating all aspects of life in the pursuit of a flourishing existence. Aristotle's virtue ethics remains relevant in contemporary discussions of moral philosophy and ethical practice. Its emphasis on character, habituation, and practical wisdom offers valuable insights for personal development and ethical decision-making. In a world where ethical dilemmas are increasingly complex and multifaceted, Aristotle's focus on the cultivation of virtue and the importance of community provides a timeless framework for navigating moral challenges. By striving to live a life of reason and virtue, individuals can contribute to their own well-being and the betterment of society as a whole. In conclusion, Aristotle's virtue ethics presents a rich and nuanced account of what it means to live a flourishing life. Through the cultivation of moral and intellectual virtues, guided by practical wisdom and supported by a nurturing community, individuals can achieve eudaimonia. Aristotle's ethical theory emphasizes the importance of balance, rationality, and the holistic integration of all aspects of life. By understanding and applying these principles, one can navigate the complexities of human existence and attain true happiness and fulfillment.